Hello and welcome to a new lesson in Linux. In this lesson we will learn how to manage users and groups. First we will learn how to add a user. To add a user you will type the command user add and then the user's name and press enter. There is another way to add a user and it's to type the command add user and then the name. And the command add user over here is an alias for the previous command, which is user add, and press enter. Now we will take a look at the file from which you can see information about the users. You will type vi slash etc and then slash passwd and press enter. This file is the primary database where user information is stored. As you can see down here are the two users that we have just created. This X symbol means the password or refers to the password, but we can't view it from here. We will view it from another file that we will see after a moment. And as you can see, this number 504 is the user's ID. And when you create a user, a normal group will be created by the name of the user, and it will have the same number as the user's ID. So that's the group's ID. And this here is the path of, or this is the home directory of Jamal. It's under /home. And from here, this word bin bash means that this user could access shell. You can see next to other users this word sbin, no login. This means that this user can't access shell. And normally users that can't access shell will be services such as the FTP. Now I will go back out. I will type 2 dots and then Q and the exclamation mark. Press enter. Now we have seen how to create a user. Now let's see how to make a password for a user. You will type the command passwd and then the user's name and press enter. It will ask me to type the password, so I will type it and press enter. It will ask me to type it again, and as you can see, it's successfully been typed, and this message will appear for you. All authentication tokens updated successfully. Now I will type the file's name from which you can see the passwords of the users. You will type vi and then slash etc and then slash shadow and press enter. As you can see, the encrypted user passwords and information relating to password expiry are kept in this file. Let's have a look at the users we have just created. As you can see here, the user Omar, this is its password from here to here. And the other user, which is Jamal, we did not make a password for it, so as you can see there will be an exclamation mark because it has no password. Then after the password, here is the number of days since January the 1st 1070, sorry I mean 1970, and this is the date of the start of the Unix. This number is the number of days that password was last changed. That means that the password has not been changed since the 1st of January 1970, or by the number of those days. And here this number 3 is the days before password may be changed. If you type 3 or 4, for example here 3, this means that you can't change the password in less than 3 days. 3 days must pass at least after each time you change the password. Here this number 72 are the number of days after which password must be changed. And as you can see here is the number of days after which password must be changed. This means that every 72 days you must change the password. And here this number 7 is the number of days that it will warn you before the time to change the password. For example, here 7, it means that before the expiry date of the password by 7 days, it will warn you that you must change the password. Of course, when you open for the first time or create a user for the first time, it will not appear this number here. It will appear like this one, 99,999 and those numbers. But here, because I have modified it before, so you will find the numbers like this. Right now I will go out. Now let's see another very important file about the users. You will type vi and then /etc and then /login dot defs and press enter. Okay, now if you scroll down from here, you'll find some very important options about the users. As you can see here, this number is the maximum number of days a password may be used. You can change it from here. And this number is the minimum number of days allowed between password changes. And this number here is the minimum acceptable password length. So if you type 15 or 12, it will not accept any password that's less than the number you have added by characters. And here, this number is the number of days warning given before a password expires. As you can see from here are the numbers or the minimum or max values for automatic user ID selection in user add. You can change those numbers as you like. Here 500, this means that the first user you create will have this number as an ID, and every user that you will create after the first one will increase a number for 501, 502, and so on until 60,000. You can customize or modify those numbers as you want. As you can see here, create home means if you want to create a home directory for a user when you create it. If you wanted to create a home directory automatically, you will leave this at yes. If you don't want, you will make it no. Now I will quit this page. Now let's check out how to delete a user. As you can see here, we have 3 users. Let's try to delete this one here, Omar. You will type the command user del and then the name and press enter. If you type ls, as you can see, the home directory of the user still exists. So if you want to delete the user and its home directory, we will try it on this here, Jamal. What you will type is the same command user del, but you will add -r and then type the user's name, press enter. As you can see now, the directory of this user has disappeared. Now let's see how to modify a user. I will try to modify this user here, Torque. I will type chage and then -l and then the user's name and press enter. As you can see, here are some information about the user, like the last password change, its date, November 24, 2003, the password expires in what day, and the password inactive. And there are other information here, like the minimum number of days between password change and the maximum number of days between password change. Now here are some options. Let's check out a list of the options that we can do here. I will type the word change, but here without the n, it will be chage, and then 2 minuses and type the word help and press enter. As you can see here, it will display the options that you can do or modify with those options here. So let's, for example, I want to modify this option, which is minimum number of days between password change, which is 0. I want to change this number 0. So what I will do is I will type the command chage and then -m, this letter here, and then I will type the number which I want this to change to. I want it to be 3, so I will type here 3, and then I will type torque, the user that I am modifying, and press enter. Now I will list the information one more time to see the changes. I will type the same command -l, as you can see here, -l means list, and then type the user torque and press enter. As you can see, it has changed to 3, not 0. This means that the minimum number of days between password change is 3, that you can't change the password in a time less than 3 days. At least 3 days must pass. Okay, now we have learned how to add a user and delete a user. And if you want to modify or make a modification that will be applied automatically on any newly created user, you will modify it from this file that we have looked at a moment ago, login.defs. And if you want to change or modify in a single user, then you will use this command that we have just used, which is chage and then the user's name. But it's always better to make a -l before it, so it can list for you the information in a pretty way. Now we will talk about how to create a group. Okay, now we will talk about groups and learn how to add a group. But first I will clear this whole page. Now let's see how to see information about groups. I will type the command or check the file, the name of the file, /etc/ sorry, I mean I will type vi first and then /etc/group and press enter. As you can see, down here is the user torque. These are the names of the groups that are on the server. This group torque of the user torque that we will see next, and this is the group's password, but ignore it because it's not used anymore. And this is the group's ID. And as we have seen previously, that in each user you make, it must have a primary group as its name. We have a user that's named Torque, so this is the primary group of Torque, and it has the same name. And this is done for security reasons. Now let's see how to add a group. I will go out. You will type the command group add and type the name of the group that you want to add. Example here, I'll add sales, and I will add another group. I will call it IT. Now let's go back to the information file of the group. I'll type the command tail /etc/group, and as you can see here, I have added this command tail. This means that it will bring me the end of the file when I enter. So now when I press enter, as you can see here are the two groups that we have just created and their ID. We have the group sales has an ID of 503 and the group IT has the ID of 504. Now we would like to add the user torque to a group, but first let's see the status of the user torque. I will type ID and then torque. If you press enter, as you can see, this is the user's ID, which is 500, and this is the group's ID, the group of the user torque, which will have the same ID because this is the primary group and it's named torque. And here is the groups that the user torque is in, and it's the only group or the primary group which is torque. Now we will add the user torque to this group here, sales. And to add the user torque to the group sales, I will type the command user mod and then minus a and then G capital, and then type the group's name, and then I will type the user's name and press enter. Now I will see the user torque status. I will type ID torque and press enter. As you can see here, next to groups, the primary group is still the same, but now the user torque is in another group which is sales, and it has the ID 503. Now let's see how to delete a group. You will type the command group del, del, and then the name of the group that you want to delete. Here it will be sales, and press enter. Now if you type ID torque and press enter, as you can see, the group that torque was in is now doesn't exist over here, and that torque has the only group which is the primary one. And that means that each time you delete or remove a group, all of the users that are on the group gets out of this group. And by this lesson we have learned how to manage users and groups. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.